Don't link it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the real content of the show. Guys doing well because we're having a fantastic freaking day. Welcome to part 3 of our Remembering the Walking Dead. And this part is gonna be the shortest. Took an executive decision and you're not gonna like it. I'm sorry guys. First of all, I want to apologize, but we're not going to do the Whisper of War. We're not going to do the Commonwealth. The reason is the Commonwealth, I don't know it, and the reason for the Whisper of War was good, but I did prefer by far Negan, the Savior War, which is the longest arc, right? So we're gonna be finishing with this. We already did the Alexandria, we already did the Hilltop. We're working together, right? And we have a common enemy, which is Negan. Negan is part of the Savior. Now, it's kind of cool because even in the beginning of the Savior is a mess. You got Gregory, which is the leader of the Hilltop, telling the people of Rick and say, hey, Negan is my favorite villain. I'm gonna have to give it to Negan and the Governor. My two favorites. Alpha, I'm sorry. But yeah, so Gregory, which is a little snake in the grass, tells Rick, hey, you need to protect from these people. Not telling Rick this is the people. So Rick had this outpost, and it's a small outpost, right? He attacks. And then Negan knows Rick, and then Negan says, hey, to Rick, hey, I like you. You had this outpost that can help us. You're gonna help us. Negan, why is Negan such a good villain? Because Negan believes. And it's, oh my god, it's so hard to talk about. It's so hard to put this in place. So the Savior, a group of people, and we keep hearing about Negan, and we keep hearing Negan, and then the Rick says, "Hey, who is Negan?" And a lot of people say, "I am Negan," and this can be seen in the Bible, which is I am Legion, which is the kind of the devil, if you will, or sort of the devil. So Negan is a mental state. It is a philosophy. It is we'll take from the people what they cannot protect. We'll take from the people. They'll work for us. We'll protect them, but it will take us. The system of Negan is a system based on power, right? And everybody's like, oh, Negan's an asshole. Negan's a bully. But if you look at it, and it's kind of crazy because when you look at the Hilltop, they have a lot of cows. They have a lot of a produce, right? And when you look at the Kingdom are good fighter. The Kingdom, which is a third, I didn't talk about it. See, this is ADHD. I should have watched the show before, but it's okay because we're gonna do a part 2 of this in a couple of months. The Kingdom is another group of people that wants to help Rick beats Negan, and then they also have a lot of produce. They have good fighters, right? Rick Group brings availability. Rick Group has a good amount of bullets. Weirdly, has a really good amount of bullets and good fighters. They're kind of like a mercenary, and it's funny because the way Gregory involves Rick Group is as mercenary, and Negan is full of what? Mercenary. Their sole like win is the power, but Negan also has a really good system in place. It's a point of system. If you contribute to the thing, it's a point of system. You can get stuff. If you don't contribute, you don't get stuff, right? The system of Negan is also a system of dictatorship. It is a system of if you betray him, it will mark you, right? It is a system that used to work in the old world, and I don't know why it fly. And of course, you're gonna make a video. Don't swat it. It's not gonna help. It's gonna come to you. Just wait, and it'll leave. See, it leaves. I'm gonna go. I'm unfocused today. I told you guys in part 1 I was not a good day to make content, but fuck it. So with Negan, we have this amazing thing that is basically a system based on fear, and this is why Negan acts the way he is. He has to maintain. We're a bunch of people. The reality about Negan in the show is much better because we love Jeffrey D. Morgan, first of all, and we love the fact that in the show he redeemed himself because he's a good character. In the comics, he doesn't. In the comics, it's kind of nuts because he doesn't redeem himself, but actually is a good person. He helps Carl. And him, Carl, they have a lot of discussion. We see that in the show with Judith because Carl is dead, sadly. Carl being dead is the actor that plays Carl, which is Chandler's Rig, quit the show because he went to focus on his normal life, right? So he had to kill Carl. So in the comics, there's a really cool part where Carl is supposed to be the main character. It is a Gohan Dragon Ball. So Rick is supposed to be this guy, right, who survived the apocalypse. And Carl is supposed to be this guy who grew up in the apocalypse. and he makes it. And the best scene, I'm gonna spoil it at the end, is that we're seeing Carl and the Alexandria, right? And they're talking and they're having a good time and they're having a peaceful life. And you're seeing out of Alexandria, and everything else is Walking Dead. Everything else is zombie. So the last bastion of mankind, which is super cool. Negan, it's such a cool thing because Negan is actually deep down a good person. Negan is a real good person. You first see that with Carl. He likes Carl. Carl is this badass kid who may make it in the apocalypse. So in the apocalypse, there's a lot of survivor in that scene, and Negan that just gives up on finding friends or just gives up on making connection because everybody will die. Everybody's gonna die. And when Negan says to Carl, he sees Carl and says, this could be my son. This could be the guy I see growing up. I think as a parent, as a adult, we always want to see this big brother symptom, this fatherly figure. We want to inspire the next generation. It's our DNA. It's because people inspired us. We want to inspire them, right? It's very simple. And with Negan, he sees Carl as somebody that can see that. So it is this first friend. Carl's a badass. He's not afraid of Negan. Negan is surrounded by people that fear him, and then you got Carl who's like, nah, fuck you. I'm not gonna fear you. I'm not gonna respect you. Even to a point where Negan is amazing. He's destroying Rick. He destroyed Rick. Rick is seen as this badass. Rick is seen as this hero. Rick is seen as one of the most influential people on the show. And then Negan makes him his bitch, which is super cool. Negan, we like him because he swear, because he has this whole mentality, but see, Negan understood that he couldn't understood that the even the place, the sanctuary he has, isn't a place proper to have food. It's a whole factory. It's an old workshop. But in the factory, they have a metal forge. They can forge weapon. In that factory, there's fences, right? There's huge fences that can act kind of like the prison. It's a safe place. It's not the safest place. It's not the best place to survive, but it's a place to survive. The sanctuary are a group that is, you have to applaud them because look at the Roman Empire. Why the Roman Empire fell is because the Roman Empire was sending too many troops out there to conquer, right? To conquer, to protect. So they had no forces back in Greece or in the Bastion. They didn't have a Bastion. With the Savior, it's the same thing. There's so many community that he has to take. There's people constantly plundering. There's people constantly scavenging. There's people watching community to see if they're doing good. And it sucks because at the end of the day, and it's constantly, the problem with Negan is he constantly have to remind people he's in power. So for example, we see that with the kingdom. There's this famous scene where they said, oh, we're going to give you 12 melon. And there's 11 melon. So the guys at Negan says, hey, we're missing a melon. And you would say, it's only a melon. But it's the idea of we're short this week. Because we're short this week, we're going to be able to, next week we're going to be able to go one down. And you break the system of, I have to go soon. We break the system of a kind of authority. The best thing about the Negan arc is that you see Rick completely destroy. You may see his ending. It's something that is part of every single movie. You see the movie of 300. And 300, they were 300 fighter fighting 10,000. And why they lasted? Because most of the fighter of the enemy were slaves. Rick understands that he has a small group of fighter. Negan has the biggest group of fighter there is. And it's kind of cool because in the system of Negan, oh my god, it's brilliant. It's genius at its finest work. There's something called the Darwin theory. The Darwin theory is the fact that a certain breed of... my example is a giraffe. Right, so the giraffe was eating tree leaves before, and then when time come, they start eating. Everything was eating at the bottom. The reason why giraffe has long neck is because the longer necks were able to eat. They were the only one that survived. So when they reproduced, their baby had long necks. That's a Charles Darwin's theory. With Negan, it's very similar. With Negan, you had to plunder, you had to scavenge. If you brought stuff to the base, you don't. See, oh my god, it's complicated. The point of system of Negan is a point of almost business-wise. It's almost a system of capitalism. So if you can live a very comfortable life, which we see with Eugene in the show, We're seeing that, and it's like it's amazing because you're like, okay, well, if I produce, how do you produce? You steal from people, so you have to be an asshole to steal from people. And if you're an asshole that steal from people, you're an asshole that don't mind killing. So the people that are still there and Negan Force are people that have proven that they're willing to forego moral code. They're able to forego moral code to survive. Even when with Eugene, we see him. Eugene finds a way to make bullets. So Eugene, as I told you, he was selling. Oh, I can find the cure. Then we realize he's full of shit. So Eugene is hated. Eugene, in an effort to redeem himself, finds a way to craft bullets. Right, and Negan knows that, and Negan understood, and it's kind of crazy because when Rick meets Jesus, Jesus is an important character because he's the introduction to other community. Jesus is the introduction to Kingdom, is the introduction to Hilltop. Alexandria was seen as the only bastion. Now there's 3 bastion, and there's this sense of helping each other. That is the reason why those people are gonna survive. Right, so we have Negan, and Negan is like, dude. When you meet Jesus and they use a bullet to kill someone, Jesus like, you're still using bullets on zombie, making people understand that the biggest enemy isn't the zombie. The greatest thing with the kind of the best thing about the Negan was Rick thought he was fucking lucky. Rick thought he was so lucky because, well, not in the show, in the comics. In the show, you see multiple group of people. You see multiple group of people like in the hospital. And Rick, the only group of people we actually see, is the group of the governor, Woodbury. They're the only group. Except from that, we have Alexandria. And Alexandria is the bastion where everybody survived. Well, the good thing about Alexandria is their solar panel. It is a city base. Oh my god. It's a city built for the elite when the apocalypse started. Alexandria is the only proof that the apocalypse was kind of like something we knew was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen because there's a group of elite people that created this gated community with solar panel and food to last for years, right? So with Jesus introduced them to other community, and we understand that it's much bigger. We even have the Commonwealth, which is a group kind of similar to Negan. The Commonwealth, I don't like them. The Commonwealth are an elite, and they'll say, "Hey, we got knowledge for you, but you're gonna have to pay us back. We're not gonna ask you for favor later on." And Negan's like, "I don't give a fuck. I'll take what you have." And Negan is an enemy. Negan is evil, but Negan also believes in survival. There's plenty of time where Negan shows that he's better. He forgives Rick. And the reason because why he forgives Rick is because he is Rick is a good earner for him, first of all. And there's this beautiful moment. There's this beautiful fucking moment where there's Rick, right? And everybody hates Negan. Negan role is to be hated. So there's people in the community that says, "Hey, Rick is not doing good with the Negan situation." So the son of the ex-leader is like, "Hey, I'll help you. I can become a good leader." And Negan kills him and sees betray. And he reveals why he likes Rick so much. Oh my god, it's so good. Rick and Negan was inspired by Batman and Joker. Batman not wanting to kill somebody, and Rick being somebody that the Joker, Batman being somebody that the Joker likes. So Rick won't kill Negan because he believes that not killing is a way of showing we're better, showing there's still law. If he kills Negan, there's no law. If you kill Negan, you kill somebody else. If you kill somebody else, you kill somebody else. And if you kill somebody else, you end up killing again. Right? You get the point? So with Batman, it's the same thing. Rick won't kill Negan because he cannot kill, and Negan won't kill Rick because he loves Rick. He sees Rick hate me, but to protect his society, he's willing to swallow his pride and help me. So Negan understands how hard it is for Rick. Negan understands the sacrifice it takes for Rick to do. So he respects that. Let's clean the lens. There you go. I'm gonna go out because it seems like it's nicer outside, dude. Right? It is nicer outside. Nice. So yeah. So long story short, Negan for a lot of people is an asshole. Negan for a lot of people is a not a good person. And I agree, I don't think he is a good person. However, Negan represents what people with power could do. See, the Walking Dead, it's the death of a society. It's the death of people coming in and saying, hey, we got power, we got political power, we got money, we can do whatever we want. It is a system based on primitive. So Negan shows that his only way of ruling is through strength. Because he has strength, he should be ruling. See, it's a very ancient system, but it still works. The fact that the apocalypse works, the beauty of Walking Dead is also, we go back to the Stone Age. There's no electricity. And because we go back to the Stone Age, when we have this knowledge, what do? It's completely different. There you go. Last part. I got other things to do today. I'm sorry if this was confusing. I'm sorry if this was a mess. The reality is I'm going to do this again when I'm watching the show, because it's been a while. But I wanted to talk about Walking Dead because we were visiting Classic, and The Walking Dead is one of my favorite shows in the world. Love you guys. Take it easy.